Well, this particular passage here, uh, by taking the example of a case that has been booked against Snapdeal, it questions that is an aggregator responsible for the quality of a product or service, or does that responsibility lie with the seller? It explains that Snapdeal has been booked under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and the Magic Remedies Act for selling and advertising prescription drugs, whereas the company could and will argue that it is not a seller, because the Drugs and Cosmetic Act requires the seller, not the aggregator, to have a wholesale or retail license for selling prescription drugs. So Snapdeal, by choosing to be a drugs aggregator, has taken a huge risk given the kind of stuff that is peddled as medicine. But the question is that to accuse it of cynicism and complicity, isn't it going too far? It says that what is needed is a legal framework for e-commerce that delineates the rights and immunities of sellers and aggregators in keeping with existing consumer-oriented laws. The potential of e-commerce in pharma should not be underestimated given the high distributor margins. Yet, watertight regulations, it says, are needed to ensure that online platforms are not misused to harm consumers. India could also learn from the US experience in regulating online transactions. While e-commerce needs a set of rules, a bigger problem is the lack of quality control and globally recognized standards in the pharma industry. The Drugs Inspectorate remains woefully ill-equipped in terms of the quality and number of trained personnel, and the Indian Medical Association on occasion functions like a trade union that shields doctors from consumer reprisals rather than as a responsible guild. The initiative taken by a body of Indian dermatologists to caution consumers against the use of high steroid skin creams sold across the counter, if not on the net, is more the exception than the norm. An improved ecosystem both for pharma and e-commerce will leave all stakeholders better off. So what is the most important message conveyed by the passage? If you look at option D, we can very quickly eliminate this option because it is only talking about mitigating harm to consumers, which is to be the end goal of all regulation. This is very narrow in scope, and this is just one of the uh, points in the two main factors that have been spoken about in the passage. Similarly, if you look at option A, this is again talking about just one factor, and it is not talking about the other factor. It is just talking about the legal framework of e-commerce that needs to be put in place. But it is not talking about the second thing, which is given in the last paragraph, that is the requirement of quality control and globally recognized standards. So therefore, this is not complete to be called a central idea of the passage. Aggregators cannot be held accountable for peddling prescription. This is again very narrow in scope, cannot be the main idea. Only talking about aggregators, not what the whole passage is talking about. The so in any way we are left with option C, so we can mark it as the correct answer. The juxtaposition of weak e-commerce guidelines and absence of pharma quality control needs to be dissolved to minimize peddling of prescription drugs. So it says that we need to have a better e-commerce guidelines and better quality control needs in order to minimize peddling of prescription drugs. So this is what the whole passage is talking about. The first part of it tells us that there is a need for a legal framework in order to delineate the rights and immunities of sellers and aggregators in keeping with existing consumer-oriented laws. And the second part tells us that the lack of quality control and globally recognized standards in the pharma industry is a problem. So this particular point in option C covers both these points. So therefore, this is our main idea. Consider the following statement. Snapdeal has been wrongly booked for facilitating sale of prescription drugs. Well, it is very clearly given to us that Snapdeal has been booked under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act. But whether it is wrongly booked or not, we cannot say. It is possible that because here in the next line it says that the company could and will argue that it is not a seller. So it is possible that it is wrongly booked or not wrongly booked. This is not something that we can infer from the passage, from this particular paragraph or from this particular given text. So we are unable to say that this is a correct statement. We will be unable to say that. Therefore, this is incorrect. Doctors too should own the responsibility of educating patients against dubious drugs. Well, this can be inferred from these lines, which say that and the Indian Medical Association on occasion functions like a trade union that shields doctors from consumer reprisal rather than as a responsible guild. So this means that it is expected from them to act as a responsible guild, to tell consumers if something is something is not good for them, which is explained through the example of the dermatologist here. Therefore, this is a correct statement. So the answer will be option B. Let us look at the next question. According to the passage, the e-commerce in pharma should be regulated under strong guidelines for sellers and aggregators. Yes, we have already discussed. This is one of the main points made in the passage, that it needs to be regulated under strong guidelines, be discontinued until a globally acknowledged set of rules is introduced. A globally acknowledged set of rules is there in the passage, but discontinuation has not been spoken about. It is correct that the author says that there is a lack of globally recognized standards in pharma industry, but does it mean that until these standards are put into action, put into place, the e-commerce in pharma should be seized? No, it should not be discontinued. This is not given anywhere, so we cannot mark it as a correct choice. Be continued only after the regulation of online transactions. Well, definitely not. Online transactions, this has been taken from the example, the US example that has been given in the passage. The passage only mentions that India could learn from the US experience in regulating online transactions, but this definitely does not mean that the e-commerce activity in pharma should be continued only after this regulation of online transaction come into place, come into action. Therefore, this is also incorrect. So the answer is option A. Many companies consciously misuse the online platform for their own benefit. Well, this is not supported by the passage anywhere. It is not given that many companies consciously misuse it. Let's go back to that part of the text. It says, yet watertight regulations are needed to ensure that online platforms are not misused inadvertently or willfully to harm consumers. We do not know whether many companies misuse this platform consciously or not. This cannot be inferred from these lines. Therefore, this is definitely an incorrect statement. In its defense, Snapdeal has argued that it is an aggregator and not a seller. Well, Snapdeal, the passage says that Snapdeal could and will argue that it is not a seller, but has it already done it? No. in its defense, Snapdeal has argued it has. So definitely this is incorrect because Snapdeal has not. It could, it will, but it has not. Therefore, both these statements are incorrect. Answer will be option D. According to the passage, not only the lack of globally accepted standards in the pharma industry leads to the production and distribution of adulterated drugs, but also the fact that the Indian Medical Association is complacent against consumer tribulations, or the Drug Inspectorate lacks the competency and manpower for reinforcement of quality goods. Well, both of these statements are correct as per the passage, because if you look at statement 1, it says that Indian Medical Association is complacent against consumer tribulations. And this is very clearly given in the passage where it says that on occasion it functions like a trade union that shields doctors from consumer reprisal rather than a responsible guild. So therefore, this statement is definitely correct, that it is complacent against consumer tribulations. The Drug Inspectorate lacks the competency and manpower for reinforcement of quality goods. This is again a correct statement. We can refer to this from here. It says the Drugs Inspectorate remains woefully inequipped in terms of quality and number of trained personnel. Therefore, both these statements are correct. Thus, the answer will be option C.